Hi everyone. Today we're going to be working on IXL assignment 8 in 4, percents of numbers and money amounts. So when you're dealing with percentages, the steps for finding the percent of a number are the same, whether it's a regular number or whether it's a money amount, like in today's example. And there are a handful of different ways that you can find the percent of a number. There are two main ways that I've found most students use, and I'm going to go ahead and show you both ways today so you can figure out which way works best for you personally, and then you can use that method, that way of showing your work for all of the problems. So on this example here, we are being asked to complete this statement and find out what 80% of $10 is. The first way we're going to show you is my personal favorite, and that is we first are going to deal with this percentage. So whenever you're trying to find percent of a number, we can't just leave it as a percentage. We need to convert it. We need to change that number into its decimal form. Well, when we think about the word percent, the word cent is in there, and there are 100 cents in a dollar. And a lot of times when you're dealing with things, it's out of 100%. Yes, you can exceed, but 100 is still kind of typically considered as being that whole percentage, that max, unit. So the way that we can turn 80% into a decimal so we can work with it is we can divide by 100. So we take our percentage because it's per cent per 100, and we can divide by 100 and it will turn that 80% into a decimal for us. Now, you do have permission to use a 4-function calculator for this. 80 divided by 100 will give us 0 and 8 tenths. Now that we've converted our percentage to a decimal, we just need to multiply that by whatever we're trying to find 80% of, and we'll have our answer. And we're trying to find 80% of $10. So we can multiply our percent in decimal form, so 0 and 8 tenths, times our $10. Once again, you do have permission to use a 4-function calculator for this. And when we do that multiplication, we get the answer of $8. So 80% of 10 is $8. Now let's go ahead and solve this same problem using a different method of showing our work. So that way you can see that both methods are valid, they both work, and it's up to you to decide which one you like. So honestly, the steps you're going to see are similar. They're just done backwards. So when we're trying to find 80% of 100, another way we can do that is we can start off and multiply 80 by 10. So we can take our percentage as is and multiply that by whatever we're trying to find the percent of. So 80 times 10 is 800. But then our second step needs to be to divide by 100 because that's going to get out of that percentage form, and that's going to tell us what number actually is, in this case, 80% of 10. 800 divided by 100 gives us 8, so we have $8. So they're both very similar. It's just whether you decide to divide by 100 first and then multiply, or multiply and then divide by 100, they will still get you that same answer. So whether you like the red method or the blue method better, pick one and go with it. I'll probably do both throughout the remainder of this video so you can still see a couple examples of each. All right, let's check this one out. We want to find 50% of $2. So we're going to go ahead and use the first method to solve this one. We're going to take our 50% and we're going to use our calculator to help us divide it by 100 to get the decimal form of our percentage, and that is 0 and 5 tenths. Now we can take that decimal form of our percent and multiply it by the number we're trying to find a percent of, which is $2. And that's going to give us the answer of $1. So 50% Half of $2 is 1. And this is one where, if you think about it, it kind of makes sense because 50% is half of 100. So we're finding half of $2, which is 1. All right, let's try this one. Complete the following statement. 100% of $6 is what? Hmm. You may be able to figure this one out without doing the work, but we'll still do the work. If we're wanting to know 100% of $6, well, 100% is considered a whole. So it's kind of just like when you multiply by 1, it doesn't change anything. So 100% of $6 is just going to be $6. But if we do the math to kind of prove that, let's use that second strategy where we multiply first and divide later. We can multiply our 100% as is by the $6. 100 times 6 is 600. But then to get out of that percentage form, we need to divide by 100, giving us our final answer of 6. All right, let's do 2 more problems here together so we can reach all of the different variety levels of SMART scores. So here we have 60% of $90. Let's go back to that first method where we first turn our percentage into a decimal form. So we can turn any percent into a decimal by dividing by 100. So 60% divided by 100 is 0.6. And we want to know what 60% of 90 is. So now we can multiply that by 90 and we will get our final answer. We see that it is $54. All right, final problem here. Let's do it using the other method. So if you like to multiply and then divide, this one's for you. So we want to find out what 23% of 800 is. So we can start off by multiplying. So 23 times 800 is 18,400. But now to get it out of that percentage form, we need to divide by 100. And we get the answer of $184. All right, it is now your turn to work on this IXL assignment. Remember that if you would like to see some more examples or maybe see if IXL has a different way of doing it, you can check out their video right here. It's a great resource for you. But otherwise, it is your turn to successfully complete this assignment. I know you can do it, but if you need anything, please reach out for help. Bye.